I'm at the sugar factory just across the Idaho-Utah border on the Idaho side. A little late in the afternoon, the sun's starting to set, but I think I still got plenty of light to get some good footage. Let's get inside and see if this has potential for a good shoot. I'll be honest with you, I'd already kind of written this place off because it's a sugar factory, and I just did a sugar mill in Louisiana. But the truth of the matter is, this is significantly different than the sugar mill. Seems to be a lot older, and just a completely different structure, so you can't even tell. I thought they'd be a lot more similar, but they're not. So, there's a very good chance I'm going to shoot here. You know what else I noticed about this place, which is kind of interesting, is aside from like a couple penises and a couple satans, most of the tags here are really friendly. There seems to be a lot of different ways to die in this place. Most of all, falling through a hole or just stepping over the edge. It's really important when you're photographing to pay attention to where you are. I could easily forget where I am because I'm just looking through the lens, backing up, trying to get a different angle, and I gotta be careful. So it seems that down there, they're still using the second half of this facility. But there's no fences, there's no trespassing signs. So I can't imagine that it's a problem to be here, except for the fact that this is a late Sunday afternoon. If I come here with a model during a weekday, it could be a totally different circumstance. I don't know. I'm really excited that this place is as cool as it is. Now I definitely have a place to shoot in Idaho. I was a little concerned because my research isn't bringing up stuff that is really getting me excited, but this place did. And I got some other places to check out, but there's a good chance I'll be back to shoot here. I'm in Idaho on my way to the historic ghost town of Bayhorse. It was the best ghost town I could find online that looked like it was the most untouched. I'm a little bit concerned because there's one of these signs that lead me to it. I thought it was a little bit more hidden and unknown, but I guess not. We'll just see when we get there. But regardless, I mean, the drive here is just phenomenal, and that alone is worth it. So yeah, I'm here at Bayhorse. It's definitely a preserved ghost town. It is abandoned. I mean, they haven't fixed it up or anything, which is cool. But there's an awful lot of rules. There's states, parks, and recreation truck here. I don't know. We're gonna take a look around and see what we can do. So a little history about Bayhorse. It was a mining town. Bayhorse was a mine, and like most mining towns, people came and went pretty quickly. There was a lot of turnaround because when word spread about a discovery in another place, everybody would go there. But there were a lot of people from a lot of different countries coming here, seeking out their new opportunities. So in 1880, there were about 75 residences in Bayhorse. Just a year later, they had 300, and by 1882, they had some businesses, a saloon, and it was a thriving little town. By 1889, there were a series of misfortunes, and one of them being a fire. And, the place went through some hard times for the next 10 years until they finally discovered more silver veins here. So the park ranger left. So I thought maybe I should go inside a building, and it's amazing. I think it's really going to be a tough decision whether or not it's a good idea to come here to shoot. But it's just so cool. So this building is interesting because it's believed that it was built by some men with the last name of Salisbury, who acquired Wells Fargo Company, and it's believed that possibly this building is a prototype of Wells Fargo's buildings, and was used to store bullion. So obviously this mining building is the most dominant feature here at Bayhorse, and it uses the old style of building on the side of the hill to take advantage of gravity, and the rocks would start at the top, get crushed, and basically be sifted out at the bottom. Apparently none of the equipment inside is the original because ownership changed hands down the road and they changed methods, but I mean, I wouldn't know if I didn't read it on the plaque. So apparently, I mean, everybody knows that mining was really difficult, and this was no different. They worked really hard, these guys. A lot of them died from just injury or getting sick. The altitude was tough. Some of them even committed suicide probably because they didn't find what they were looking for. But apparently they partied just as hard as they worked, and there were lots of different saloons here. So, you know, they worked hard, but they also had a good time when they could. It was built in 1879, but they didn't keep it in operation that long until 1897 because costs were too high. It used an immense amount of charcoal, and transportation just wasn't practical. If they had a good rail system, apparently they could have doubled production and probably would have kept the smelters running. So I talked to the park ranger, and there's really no hope of me doing a photo shoot here. You know, I'd have to go down and ask for permission, and she doesn't know of anybody that's ever been allowed to go inside the buildings. She informed me that there's another building way up here on this mountain, and technically I can drive all the way to it, but she didn't recommend that I do. And for some reason she was just really nice, and I would feel bad trying to trick her and trying to do a whole photo shoot here. I don't know, it just, and the fences kind of ruin the whole motif, like in the little signs and plaques. You know, it doesn't quite do it for me, although it's a really cool location. I'm glad I came. I tried going up, I really did, but it's too steep and it's too narrow. And now I have to go all the way back down in reverse, and that's not fun. My brakes on the truck are actually smoking. I can smell them, I can see the smoke. I can't imagine that that's such a good thing. So I'm looking forward to not being here anymore. But in the meantime, there's this cool thing here that I wanted to check out. Well, that little thing was pretty cool. Now I think it's time for me to move on from this area. So a car went off the road up here. Everybody's okay, but it's gonna take this guy like 2 hours, and this is the only way out of here. And the only thing I can do is go back and take that hike that I was regretting not taking. So this is the hill I tried driving the truck up, and walking up it confirms that it's pretty steep. It's an old mine shaft. It's welded shut, as you can see. Still snowing there. It's freezing cold. It's pretty cool though. So you know what? Not being able to get by was kind of a fate thing, because I wouldn't have gotten to see this awesome abandoned mine building, and the view behind me is just phenomenal. If I look out this window, all the way at the bottom of the hill is that wooden structure I was climbing on earlier. So I've said this a lot, but this might be one of the coolest places I've ever been. I just can't believe people built this place on the side of this cliff. It's crazy. I really want to see if I can't get a model to come out here with me. I mean, it's a lot of work and a lot of effort, but the story and the photos could be phenomenal. I mean, just the wood, it looks amazing in black and white. I'm so excited that I took the time to come up here. You know, I feel bad that those people crashed on the road and their car had to get towed out of the embankment, but thank you for crashing, or else I would have never seen this. Today I'm at the ghost town of Bonanza, a real classic ghost town name. And it's more of a untouched ghost town. It's not preserved, so this is definitely more of what I'm looking for. This must be one of the very first trailer homes. again, it's really cool to see how these places were put together. Like you can still see the design from the old wallpaper. It's really neat. As far as ghost towns go, Bonanza's pretty cool, but a lot of it's fallen down, and you know, ghost towns like this are tough for a guy like me because I really like straight lines, and there are no straight lines on any of these buildings that are standing, and the other ones have fallen down, so I'm not sure this is a place for me, but I'm definitely happy I stopped by. Now I'm in a little place called Clayton, Idaho, and I thought I should stop and check it out. So this is a little bit more modern, still not quite what I'm looking for, but as usual, I'm happy I stopped by. I'm here with Sparky. We just got done a phenomenal photo shoot here at the Skylark Mine. She was amazing. Like, I asked her if she was afraid of heights earlier, and the things that she was willing to do here, I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't have asked for a better model for this situation. I'm getting dizzy. We're at 9,000 feet and the weather's starting to come in, so I think it's time for us to go. But before we leave, you got anything you want to say about the shoot?
Great photographer, very comfortable to work with, easygoing.
So we're going to move on to the next shoot, but I cannot wait to show you guys the results from this one. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.